Hey guys, so I have some ideas for heroes and villains, alright? Alright, picture this, you got a, sexy elf girl who's like super magical and everything, and her true arts are based on like Alice in Wonderland, yeah. She has like things she can do with mirrors because of the looking glass and some jabberwock and a whole bunch of card soldiers. Yeah, and maybe she'll even have the Vorpal sword as one of her weapons, yeah. Hmm. Like it can be like it can be a copy of the real Vorpal sword, since a Vorpal sword is like a since a real Vorpal sword is like a super sacred sacred treasure, yeah. Oh yeah, and I also had the idea of making a cowboy that's thing is having a supernatural evolver and doing sharpshooting tricks, and also their techniques are like based on different types of card games like poker and 21 and all that. And yeah, it's kind of a reference to like gambling and all that. He also has techniques that are based on dice, such as crap shooter. Yeah. I like that one. Yeah. Yeah. Well, I'll even give him a rope. I'll even give him a robot horse because I think robot horse sounds very cool. Like maybe a robot horse, combined with a train. Maybe. I think that'd be very cool. Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, my next idea for like a more villainous character would be for to update Carapace's true arts. Yeah. Since I kind of had the idea to kind of base her true arts kind of on Sleeping Beauty and various versions of Briar Rose and which is originally Miss Sleeping Beauty as well as Sleeping Beauty itself. And also her medium would be like Death Spindle, which is based on the spinning wheel that Carapace used to curse Sleeping Beauty in the original story. And a lot of her techniques would, and a lot of her true art techniques would be a reference to like Sleeping Beauty and all that. Yeah. Since I'm already doing a fairy tale world anyways, I thought that be perfect for that. Funny enough, I had the idea from seeing Nightshade Hudson and all her special techniques that are kind of a reference to like Snow White, so I thought why not. Anyway, I thank you for watching. I hope you had plenty of fun. And wait. I have one more idea. Yeah. Hold on. Enemy, wake up. All right. I kind of also want to do one that's kind of based on Wizard of Oz. Yeah. Well, I already planned on using enemies from Wizard of Oz anyway. Yeah. Since I did have that Hammerhead idea, a long time, not quite a while back. Since that was a reference, Wizard of Oz, obviously. And maybe I can have them be like a magical girl Dorothy. And they could have techniques kind of based on Scarecrow, Tin Man, and that Cowardly Lion. Maybe I can even have them be like a Great Witch and have revolvers that are based on like Wicked Witch of the East and West. I think that'd be pretty cool. Wait, they could even ride brooms and or maybe I can give them like magic red heels that have wings on them. Or maybe they can be silver and power up to red and she can do like a flaming kick with red heels. Yeah. Yeah, I think that'd be pretty cool. Obviously, I'll have to read more of the Oz books, kind of behind the scenes, to kind of get a better grasp of, the techniques that, I want her to have. Anyway, remember to fly like bat and shine like the moon, for weirder stuff dreams are made of. Quite literally. Anyway, I'll see you later.